YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Carl coming back at you from Golden Grimmett Productions. You know what time it is, bro. A Courtship of Rivals, Part 3. Yo, this might be one of my favorite videos, bro. As you know, I'm not saying much in these videos because I want to really get the vibe and feel of the video. I'm really enjoying the in-depth as far as like why they hated each other, but while they still respected each other. Also, if you are new, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. I love y'all. Thank you so much for everything y'all continue to do. And without further ado, we're gonna get into this video.
Finally gonna happen. We get to go head to head again. It's just a matter of rolling that ball out there and let's get it on.
It's their first war, bro. Okay, so they started the first game in the Boston Garden. Okay. But the Celtics must have had the better record there.
World Championship Series, either Magic or Bird has competed, but this is the first time that the two have gone head to head for the title.
Oh, I bet the energy was crazy.
Got on them that first game, and we won in Boston.
And with less than a minute to go in Game 2, the Lakers were closing in on a commanding series lead.
Boy, Kareem needed to go ahead cut the hair, boy. Ooh, clutch play. Uh-oh.
From that point on, things began to crumble.
Uh-oh.
9 seconds. Magic holding the ball. Magic trying to work on Maxwell. Magic has still got it down to 2 seconds. 1 second. He's going to have to shoot it. He doesn't get it off. He doesn't get it off.
Oh.
Cheesy Johnson dribbling the timeout. What are you doing?
The Lakers regained their stride in Game 3, only to be rudely knocked off it again in Game 4.
Ooh, I remember that.
Watch it. Cooper and the Celtics, and now the bench is empty.
When Kurt Rambis got taken out, we started fighting instead of playing.
Kareem swings the elbow, and now
It got really nasty.
Jaw to jaw.
And
It got
made
real
us
nasty.
realize we were not mentally tougher than the Celtics.
Magic's just not himself.
To be sure they won't let the time run out as they did in Game 2. Harris steals the ball, and the Celtics call a timeout.
There were a number of places
Magic might have been cracking under that
Irving
pressure.
didn't do what people expected him to do.
That mental toughness the Celtics had. Ooh. Okay. So that's different type of pressure, boy, they was applying.
Want a timeout. Smunded. Magic Johnson goes to the bench. Bird,
Uh-oh.
turnaround.
Game 5 went to the Celtics. Game 6 to the Lakers.
Bro, they went 7 in their first
Like
meeting.
1979 all over again.
What a war,
Down to
bro.
one game for Bird and Magic.
If everybody had to look at it, probably would have said this is going to be a 7-game series.
I thought we'd sweep them in 4, but just went a little bit longer. Now we just at 7.
Hey, boy, Larry didn't hold back. Thought we was gonna sweep him in 4. Respect. But I've seen, that's them Celtics teams wasn't no joke. They had Magic out here not playing like Magic. That boy was playing like Irving.
That's the only time I ever felt that. There ain't no way they're walking out here with a win.
Magic Johnson.
No way.
Lakers have
Uh-oh.
several chances, and here
Larry got busy.
chucking down the front. Bird. How does he do it? Now Johnson with the ball. The Lakers trying to cut it to 1. And he loses it.
Uh-oh. Ooh. His first title came against Magic. Bro, that was a hard pill to swallow.
World champions.
No, that was a hard pill to swallow.
I pride myself in being the guy who's going to win it for us. And and deliver under pressure. And it didn't happen.
I hope he was hurt and hope it killed him. He made some bad plays down the stretch, and nobody in there was happier than me. You know, not only winning the game makes you feel good, but just knowing the other guy's suffering, and you know he was.
I remember after the game that both he and I were in the showers crying and stayed in there for about 35, 40 minutes. It was hard because not only had we lost to the Boston Celtics, he had lost to his nemesis, Larry Bird.
I think he just made me dislike him more, you know, because he was that good. And I think you be jealous. You jealous a little bit.
Larry, does this get you even with Magic for what happened between Michigan State and Indiana State all those many years ago?
Yeah, we're professionals now, but I won this one for Terre Haute.
Well, it was a big deal, and I remember asking Quinn Buckner about it afterwards. They had a celebration in downtown Boston after they won the championship, and you know, it was unusual for Larry to have these little outbursts, as Quinn would call them. But you know, about 11:30 at night, finally he turned to Quinn. He goes, "I got him. I finally got him," and he was talking about Magic.
The league was rejoicing too. Game 7 of the '84 series was one of CBS's highest-rated telecasts of the year.
It was a war, bro.
And the highest-rated game, the NBA
ratings couldn't help but go up, bro.
All of a sudden, whether it was at CBS or Madison Avenue, the sports writers around the country became a phenomenon. What is happening here? The absolute foundation in this resurgence was the Celtics and the Lakers, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
But Magic was in no mood to bask in the accomplishment.
I took a media beating. Tragic Magic. This is why we say Larry Bird is better. It's probably the first time ever in my life
they was giving that boy the blues.
I didn't want people to see me. It was something I never dealt with in my life.
That particular series, that championship series, redefined his whole career because he never stopped working after that.
Magic was on a mission to prove to himself and the world that with the ball in his hands, he was still the one in control. And after his Lakers ran through the '85 season, he quickly got what he wanted. Another shot at Bird and the Celtics.
Ooh. They won the East, we won the West. So it's like everybody just get ready, sit back, and let's enjoy it.
Yo.
But that
they
smile
ran the
belied
league.
the intensity
Oh
of the
my
clash.
God. Oh my God. Boy, did you see that?
Let's enjoy it.
But that smile belied the intensity of the clash that awaited.
If I had a glass of water and any of those guys had been on fire, I would have drank the water and watched them.
They called us, chokers and sissies. We didn't like that, and they thought less of us. I knew they did.
In '85, we played them 4 times in exhibition season for some reason. I don't know why they scheduled that. By the 4th game, there was an all-out brawl.
They call this one of the greatest rivalries in all of sport, the Celtics and the Lakers. And if that is true, it is the most one-sided rivalry in all of sports. 8 times these two have met for the NBA championship, and 8 times the Celtics have won.
At guard in his 6th year from Michigan State at number 32.
That was back when the Celtics, that was with Bill Russell.
But in the '85
them boys
finals,
was dominating
Magic
everything.
Changed the script. Over 6 grueling games, he masterfully controlled the pace with all-around brilliance.
He has a triple-double again.
Behind their point guard, the Lakers finally knocked out the Celtics, winning the clinching game in the Boston Garden.
3 in 6 years, LA comes to Boston and wins the world title.
Larry got him first. He came back and got Larry back.
Magic Johnson. It's a long year last year to wait for this moment right now.
Magic had evened the score with Bird on the NBA floor. But the significance of their rivalry and their relationship was still just taking hold.
You crazy. I said, you're crazy. I'm not shooting no commercial with Larry. So I said, okay, what, we're gonna shoot it in LA?
I would never went to LA to film it.
Well, where are we gonna shoot it?
Bird to film a sneaker ad together in the summer of '85. A question remained. How would the two hated rivals on the court get along off of it?
I don't know how he's going to react. I don't know how I'm going to react. We didn't even shake hands, so how are we going to do a commercial together?
The ad was to be filmed at the home Bird had built for his mom. It featured a full-length basketball court.
Ooh, that's nice.
The day's first location.
So they say, okay, you're playing one-on-one, and I'm looking at Larry, and he's looking at me like, is this real? Are we playing? Because, you know, this is Magic and Bird.
I could just hear Larry, you know, starting in on, well, you bring it to the basket, and I'm going to send it 30 rows up.
So the guy was like, no, not like that. A fun game. We were both like, oh, okay. Like, like you can see this relief coming over both of our faces.
That brief détente led to the next stage, dialogue.
We sat down next to each other. How was your summer? Oh, it's going good. How was yours? It's going great. He said, man, it's a nice spread. You got it.
And he's asked me, is this where you play? I said, yeah, I play here if it's not windy. If it's raining or windy, I go to the gym. But this is where I do all my work.
I see that tractor. You work on the tractor? He said, man, I work on this tractor every day. Larry Bird work on a tractor? He said, yeah.
It's just them two walking and talking, and every once in a while they'd stop and one of them would say something, and then they'd start laughing.
That's how that
Then
friendship
they said,
got built.
Okay, break. It's lunch break time. I was going to my trailer. He said, no, my mother has prepared lunch for us up at the house.
That's dope.
We went up to the house and we
That's
sat there
dope.
and we talked, and my mom, my brothers thought the world of him.
His mother was so nice, making sure I had enough to eat. I just saw my mother. It was crazy.
He charmed her. You can see it. But that's Magic. He makes everybody feel welcome and warm, and he's a con man.
And while Magic
Call
charmed
that man a
Georgia
con
Bird,
man.
it was someone else who intrigued her son.
He met Irvin at lunch.
Irvin is a good dude. I like Irvin a lot better than Magic.
I was just so happy to finally be Irvin with him, because Magic was like, I don't know if I want to get to know this guy. But Irvin got a chance to talk about family.
It's a good documentary. I ain't gonna hold you.
We just became two relaxed guys, just talking.
That day was great. It was a great day. Beautiful day.
Still, for Bird, ever the competitor, that's all it was. Just one day.
Magic thinks the next year, okay, well, now we're great friends. So, you know, after the game, we're going to go out, we're going to have a beer. Larry's
no.
like, no. You're right. I know you better. You're a good guy, but I still don't want anything to do with you.
He's a happy-go-lucky guy. If me and him got to be really good friends, go out on the court, he could still play the same game. I couldn't. That's just the way it is.
I respect
But when
it.
the ad hit the airwaves, for others, the perception changed.
I saw those limousines going through the cornfields, and I said, no. They didn't sell themselves out.
I heard Converse made a pair of Bird shoes for last year's MVP. Yep. But they made a pair of Magic shoes for this year's MVP.
Okay, Magic, show me what you got.
Well, this is really a business thing.
The Bird shoe, the Magic shoe.
And maybe that's where the business thing
Boy, that's the
started to get bigger.
cheesiest commercial, boy, but I bet it sold a lot of Converse.
They both really were.
It polarized the whole idea of lunch bucket versus Hollywood, white versus black. Just cemented
Not the
all the
orange
differences
soda, bro.
between them.
Kids
Not the
weren't wearing
orange
black
soda,
gym
bro.
shoes because they didn't want to be associated with the Larry Bird camp. You wore your white Converse.
The basketball rivals had morphed into cultural warriors, and race, more than ever, had become an unavoidable part of the conversation.
Yo!
But nothing about Bird and Magic had ever been
Do
as
the right
simple
thing.
as black and white.
One of the big reasons this rivalry became so emblematic of so many things is because it was an easy dichotomy for people to understand. But it's crazy to simplify it as saying white people like Bird and black people like Magic because 13% of the country is black, but it wasn't like 87% of basketball fans preferred the Celtics.
Who's your favorite basketball player? Magic Johnson. Who's your favorite movie star? Eddie Murphy. Pino, all you ever talk about is nigga this and nigga that. And all your favorite people are so-called niggas. It's different. Magic, Eddie, Prince are not niggas. I mean, they're not black. I mean...
Hey, yeah. We're gonna bleep that out, bro.
Ever been
That's
used
wild, bro. That's
by a
wild.
white person to describe Irvin? I doubt it.
That's wild, bro.
But as Magic enjoyed his image as a crossover star, it was Bird, the one-time great white hope, who had further emerged as the polarizing racial figure, due in part to that era's increasingly conservative political climate.
The rolling back institutionally of the achievements of the civil rights movement were going on apace from about 1975 on. But the triumph of the movement that rolled it back took place in the 1980s. And I think there was people who were very aware in the black community of what was going on. And I think there was a lot of sublimated frustration. And I think one of the ways it got sublimated was into basketball. And I think Larry, through no fault of his own, was the receptacle within which the lingering resentments somehow floated.
And after Bird led the Celtics to the championship in 1986, his third in the pros, winning his third straight MVP award in the process, the resentment grew.
I always felt that the press was biased in favor of Larry Bird. It always felt to me like they were gonna make Larry the hero. You know, you'd see somebody score and Larry would be in a cast in a suit on the bench and they'd say, Larry Bird made that possible a couple weeks ago when he told that guy he could do it and he just did it. They gonna get his motherfucker the assist and he not in the game?
Not to be racist, but we have a white guy who's the best in the world. It's predominantly a black sport now, and you got a guy like Larry Bird who can't run, who can't jump, but can do everything out there.
That don't mean nothing to me. It don't mean anything to me. It never has. I don't know why. I mean, am I doing something wrong here?
Bird may have sought to avoid the conversation entirely, but the more he won, the less he could escape it.
Bro. Bro, that man's voice out, bro.
In 1987, after Boston beat the Detroit Pistons to advance to the finals for the fourth straight year, Pistons rookie Dennis Rodman called Bird overrated because he was white. His teammate Isaiah Thomas then chimed in with some thoughts of his own.
Isaiah Thomas and them like come off as big boy haters, bro. And I'm not even talking about the stuff where as of late when he's been talking about Jordan and the whole Pippen thing. It seemed like they just haters, bro. Like, I get it. Isaiah Thomas was one of the few to actually beat Magic, Bird, and all of them, anything like that, and when they won their title. But bro, they just always came off as haters. Like, doesn't mean that they were, but they just came off. Anybody who was a fan of the Detroit Pistons, let me know in the comment section below. Or anybody who watched basketball during that time in the comment section below, let me know. Were Isaiah Thomas and the Bad Boy Pistons haters? Like, were they, or they never really had nothing good to say about nobody, or it was always hating? Is that like Dennis Rodman, Mr. O and 20 rebounds, calling somebody overrated? That's crazy, especially to call Larry Bird overrated.
His own.
Okay, I stand corrected already.
He's an exceptional talent, but I'd have to agree with Rodman.
Oh my God.
If he was black, he'd be just another good guy.
Bro.
I can remember in the locker room, I think it was Jack McMullen came up to me and said, Isaiah just said, boom, 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 boom. And I go, so?
He didn't care. He didn't care. Everybody else around him cared very deeply in the days and weeks as it turned out ahead.
I mean, the media made it out like it was something, but it didn't matter to me what Isaiah or Dennis Rodman said, and it still don't. It has no bearing on what I do in my life.
He doesn't see race. He really doesn't. And he could have. This guy grew up poor, white, in southern Indiana. Southern Indiana, the home, by the way, of the modern Ku Klux Klan. How he managed not to be affected by the cultural milieu that he grew up in is, I think, a miracle. To me, it's inexplicable.
When I was in about 6th or 7th grade,
it's the documentary for Larry Bird and
I
Magic
couldn't wait
Johnson.
till school be over because I knew.
My bad, y'all. My wife came in and they were showing the KKK. Kind of had to explain that a little bit.
Older, and they let me play. You know, I always looked at that as I got an opportunity to play against a black man, and they treated me good. I couldn't wait to play against the best, and at that time, they were the best.
And in 1987, as Bird vied with Magic to be the best, the flap over Isaiah Thomas's racially fueled remarks forced Bird to address his least favorite topic at the worst possible time.
I had to go to a press conference when I was in LA trying to get ready to play the Lakers, and Tell people, I didn't care. This don't bother me.
The main thing is if the statements or whatever was said doesn't bother me, I don't think it should bother any of us.
From playing all year, trying to get back to the finals and play against Magic, this was a distraction.
Bird was facing off against Magic for the third time in 4 years. And if their relationship had softened, the determination to beat each other had not. As Game 4 proved, the level of competition between them was higher than ever.
Bird played awesome down the stretch of that game.
Put them down.
Trailing 2-1 in the series, the Celtics were down by 1 point in the final minute of the game. But Larry Bird wouldn't be easily vanquished.
As we all know, Larry ain't easily beat. Bro, what year did Kareem cut his hair, boy? Because he held on to that ball for a
7 seconds
minute.
left, though. The Lakers still had life. 3 years earlier in the '84 finals, Magic had flubbed a similar situation. But this was a different Magic, one with a whole new bag of tricks.
My man switched to Kareem, and Kevin McHale.
Ooh, the iconic shot.
As soon as I saw Kevin, I said, oh, I'm taking him.
You know, Magic puts it on the floor, a couple head and shoulder fakes.
Ooh.
He raised up in the air, and there was nobody that was going to get that shot.
The iconic shot.
I remember after they called timeout thinking,
This was where they thought the shot was
Celtics
going
may
in.
still win this game.
Well, they set up a great play. Bird walked Worthy all the way up, forced the denial all the way up.
We've done it before. Clear everybody out, go to the ball and break to the corner.
He caught it here, and as he caught it, all he had to do was turn. He just turned, and he just let this thing go.
Bird fires it.
Got a wide open look, couldn't believe it.
And I'm standing right there. It is straight as an arrow.
Dead on.
And the Lakers have won.
They were lucky because it was right on line.
He looked at me like, how did you ever leave me that wide open?
You gotta be kidding me. Changed the whole series.
The Lakers won the series in 6. And in the aftermath of a year in which Magic had won his first MVP, the rivalry suddenly took on a new tone.
Magic's just a great basketball player. He's the best I've ever seen, you know. Unbelievable. I don't know what to say.
I was shocked that he said it because I thought to myself, maybe this is the beginning of a new era that's not going to include him. It was the passing of the torch a little bit.
After vanquishing Bird in '87, Magic wasn't done winning. The following year, he squared off in the finals against his good friend Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons, beating them to become the NBA's first repeat champions in 2 decades. By the dawn of the '90s, he'd won 5 titles, played in 8 finals, and equaled Bird's MVP tally of 3. But the more Magic won, the less Irvin seemed to be around to reap the spoils.
Once I tasted the champagne and the championship, I wanted more of that and more of that. So Magic kept growing because we were successful. And the persona and all of that came with that.
All right, so look, we're gonna leave off on this one. Whew. Okay, this is a phenomenal documentary, bro. I'm greatly enjoying this. Thank you so much. I think the next video is gonna conclude this series, part 4 of A Courtship of Rivals. I think this is one of my favorite videos that I've actually watched. So until the next one, man, we're gonna finish it off, man. I love y'all. I appreciate everything y'all continue to do. It's been your boy Carl from Golden Grimmett Productions. Till the next one. Peace.